Quarantine lockdown. Hey guys, we're on lockdown. We're on quarantine. Oh boy. Let me get out of bed, man. Do you know what? Motivation to get out of bed is going to be really, for people who live on their own, imagine they're just going to be like, you know what, sleeping all day, mate. I just sleep in all day. Well, I've lost my slipper. That's how easy it is on lockdown to lose your slipper. Right, oh my life. Well, that's it. I had the email from work to say that's it. We're shutting down for until it all blows over. Like, I don't know when that'll be. So, yeah. Mate, I'm quarantined. Like, that's it now. Day one. I tell you, plenty of toilet rolls. Although, don't try and raid me. Don't try and come and raid me, mate, because I've got something to defend myself with. But we're on quarantine lockdown, aren't we, Chaz? Hey, aren't we, buddy? Yeah. Well, we're all stocked up as well, so we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Now, it's yeah, man, it's going crazy out there in the real world. It's going nuts, right? So it's getting serious. I saw a video of a load of army tanks rolling into Birmingham. I don't know what that's all about, but I guess the military are getting involved in case it all goes tits up. I think the main thing is for people to panic. You know what I mean? If people panic, we're all screwed, you know? The government's going to be screwed, you know, and we're all going to just nuke ourselves. We remain calm, you know, and shop sensibly, everything will be fine. The government have said that they've got measures in place to make sure that people are financially sorted. So there will be funds and money available for people who need it to do their shopping, to pay their bills. Mortgages don't have to be paid, evidently, for a couple of months. I'm sure that will filter down to the people who are renting as well. So it'll help, you know, alleviate some stress. So, I mean, guys, man, this is crazy. Do you know what? I've never known anything like this in my lifetime. I'm going to do this without trying to nuke myself here. There we go. I've never known anything in my lifetime like this. Like the only other epidemic that I've been aware of and lived through, it was the AIDS crisis back in the early 80s. I don't know what kind of level, because I don't really remember it. But I mean, people were actually dying, you know, like all around. And that didn't have a cure. So it was even more scary then, you know. It wiped out a lot of people. And I don't think this is like that, really, because this is a curable, livable thing. It's, you know, it's not like 100% mortality rate, but it affects a wider spectrum of people, you know, although AIDS now affects anybody. But yeah, so this is like this. It feels like that, you know, but the fact that it's affected the economy like this is the first time I've seen this, and it's pretty scary, I suppose. Well, it's only scary if you let it be, I feel. It's not that scary, you know? So, anyway, what's in the bag? Like, everyone's been stocking up. Grab this, grab that. Oh my gosh, you know? Me and the missus, we've been preparing for quarantine in a different way, all right? We've been thinking, well, what are we going to do, all right? What can we do? Because we were supposed to be going to New York for my girlfriend's brother's wedding next month, but the flight's just been cancelled. So that's that. That's New York. Bye-bye. No longer going to New York now. I mean, I dare say if they resume the flights at a later date, I don't know. But the end of the day, we don't know what the state of the world is going to be like in a month's time. And at the present time, it's like you could get, there's a high chance you get quarantined as soon as you step foot off the plane because you come from a country outside of the US, and that's 2 weeks, and that's the entire holiday gone. And then we wouldn't be able to attend the wedding anyway. So we've just gone, you know what, let's just nuke it. And then that's given us a little bit of, you know, spare cheddar. So we decided, right, well, I think we best prepare for the worst, you know? How do you do that, though? Like, okay, food, supermarkets are limiting people down to, you know, 3 items of any one kind. So you can go and get stuff, but you can only have 3 of any one item, to ensure everybody gets their fair share. And, you know, there is still food in the stores. It's not like there's nothing, but it's going to be like rations soon, isn't it? But anyway, we're fully stocked up with food and that. To be honest, I'm more concerned if the internet and the electricity go out. That's my more concern, because I think that's, at the moment, how people are getting their information. And when there's no information, when there's no communication, that's when the panic and anarchy can set in, and that's when we're in the purge. You know what I mean? So as long as them two hold up, then I think we'll all be fine. So anyway, me and the missus decided, let's try something out, shall we? And let's help ourselves. So we went out and we tried this old bad boy. Let's see what that is, eh? PlayStation VR. Compatible with PlayStation 5, which that got announced last night, guys. PlayStation 5 got announced. Well, it got announced. What am I saying? It didn't really get announced, did it? I mean, the head architect of the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, Mark Cerny, he took to the small confined office space with about 4 cardboard cutouts. And let's see here. The specs were revealed. Let's go through them, shall we? Let's see, I've saved the specs, but I can't move that now. There we go. Right. The specs of the new PlayStation are very interesting, because there's good and there's bad, right? So, let's see here. For me, teraflops mean nothing, guys. Teraflops just are a worthless term that somebody has invented or created to determine the power light combined, okay? But it doesn't mean anything. 3 main components make up a PC, and the PlayStation 4, the Xbox, the PlayStation 5, and the new Xbox, they're all PC architected, like, you know, they're all based on the x86 system, okay? Which is just like a PC, guys, right? And a PC has 3 main components that you'll base this for how fast it is, and that's the CPU, okay, the GPU, and the memory, okay? Them 3 items is how you can determine how fast it is. Now, obviously, it depends on the motherboard that it's attached to, what kind of hard drives that you've got installed, you know, to determine, like, speed and stuff like that. They both, Xbox and PlayStation, have a 4K Blu-ray drive, which is fine. In fact, I haven't got the Xbox specs here, so we're going to have to go hunting again on the internet. PS5 comparison. There we go. That'll do. Just to get the stuff for the Xbox up, which I'm sure there's going to be a comparable thing. PlayStation, that says unconfirmed, so that's no good. That's the one I'm looking for. Boom, save that into, not memes, no, PS5. PS5, save, and then it should appear on that screen, and it does, and there we go. Right, so, the CPU of the PlayStation 5 is a Zen Core. There's 2 of them, and they clock in at 3.5 gigahertz, which is a variable speed. Now, variable speed basically means it increases the performance when it needs to, okay? It keeps it at like a base level, but then it overclocks it when it needs to. That makes the CPU last longer. The Xbox Series X is fixed at 3.8 gigahertz. Done, right? Now, if that's overclocked or not, we don't know. Oh, sorry, a 3.8 gigahertz, sorry. It is an overclocked CPU from 3.6 gigahertz, okay? So they're running an overclocked CPU constantly, but only like from 3.6 to 3.8. That's not a massive difference. So anytime you overclock something, you're basically saying, train harder now, do it now, harder. And you won't last as long, basically, okay? So the PlayStation 5 is running at a base level of whatever it is, nobody knows. And then when it needs that speed boost, it can go up to 3.5. So it doesn't run at 3.5 all the time. It's just when it needs to sweat that extra bit. Comparing it to what the PlayStation 4 has right now, guys, it's got 8 cores, right? So, you know, same as PlayStation 5, it's got 8 cores. And that clocks in at 1.6 gigahertz, guys. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize the PlayStation 4 was so slow. Right? My PC clocks in at nearly 5 gigahertz. 5. PlayStation 4, 1.6 gigahertz flat. PlayStation 5 is double that, but it's a variable speed. Okay, GPU, graphics card now, okay? My graphics card is a 1080 Ti in here, 11 gig of video memory in my PC, okay? The PlayStation 4, I mean, people are using the teraflop thing, I don't bloody number of that crap. 800 megahertz, not even a gig, not even 1 gig. 800 megahertz. I think my video card runs at 5,000 megahertz. So that's the difference there between my PC and the PS4. The PS5 is running at 2.23 gigahertz, so that's half at what my graphics card runs at the moment. Actually, is it 5,000 gigahertz? Let me just double check that. I don't want to provide false information here. Sorry, my GPU runs at 1.5 megahertz. Sorry, 1.5 megahertz. So it's actually, my graphics card is half of what the PlayStation 5 is. Sorry, my graphics card is. The Xbox graphics card is 1.8. So that the Xbox One is just almost as good as mine, but not by much. But the PS5 runs at 2.23 gigahertz. So graphically speaking, the PS5 is twice as good looking as the Xbox is in terms of its graphics card. Now, people try and measure this with the teraflop number. And yes, okay, just because you're faster doesn't mean you're better at calculating, you know, things. So, you know, the Xbox Series X has like 12 teraflops. In other words, it can do, you know, so many cycles of information a second, whereas the PS5 is only 10.28. So, you know, that means nothing though. Seriously, that's just an invented number. That's nothing of any interest. That's just Xbox making that up probably to try and sound better than PlayStation. All right? It seriously has no effect on anything really. Okay, so now we're going to the memory side of it, okay? My computer has 16 gig of memory, and the clock speed of the memory is the 5,000. So 5,000 megahertz of clock speed for my 16 gig graphics card. The PS4 had a memory of 8 gig. 8 gig of memory. And both the PS5 and the Xbox have 16 gig of memory. So that's pretty cool. They're both running a... by the looks of it, though, Xbox has split their memory. So out of that 16 gig, there is a memory bandwidth of 10 gig, which runs at one certain cycle. And then 6 gig... Is that 6 gig? Yeah, which runs at a lower cycle. What for? Who knows? But there you go. That's that. And then, of course, they both have SSD drives internally, which is much faster than a HDD drive. You don't need to defrag them. And the way it pulls the information off that SSD card is PS5 can do it at 5 gig a second, which is insanely fast. Whereas the Xbox Series X does it at 2.4 gigahertz. So to be honest, right, let's put it into perspective here now. The Xbox Series X out of the box is more powerful than the PlayStation 5. But will it last as longer because of the clock speed? Who knows? But the PlayStation 5 is faster than the Xbox Series X. And it's faster by quite a lot, which means the games will load faster, the games will play quicker, levels will load, there'll be no time for waiting for anything. So the demonstration that you saw on the Xbox Series X with the guy flipping between games, which was about 2 to 3, like 2 seconds for each game, is going to be zip, 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 zip for the PlayStation 5. It's going to be Russian roulette. You're going to be able to roulette through like 10 games in that time or something. It's going to be insanely fast, and stably fast as well because of the variable clock speed. It doesn't waste power. It conserves it. Whereas the Xbox Series X just full throttles. One won't last as long as the other at the end of the day, guys. That's all there is to that. So, but anyway, we haven't actually seen what the PlayStation 5 looks like, so we don't know what the cooling system is inside of it. What kind of fan does it have? How much ventilation is it gonna have? Nobody knows. Anyway, this has gone on long enough, guys. I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna do some gaming. I think, guys, I'm under quarantine, so I'm gonna make the most of it, guys. Oh yeah, baby. And then tomorrow, day 2 of the quarantine lockdown. I'll catch you tomorrow, guys. All right, thanks you so much for watching. And if you're still watching, there's something free in the description box for you, just you. All right, take care. Bye-bye.